This is James Lupton for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined with Isaac Lowe. Isaac, don't get paid for overtime. How did that feel?
Yeah, it felt good, didn't it? Listen, to be honest with you, I thought I was going to have to get more rounds out of him, do you know what I mean? I know it was going to be tough. I know that obviously all these wins have come by stoppage or knockout. I think I got caught a bit early in the round with by one. I think it was a right hand or something, or whatever, I can't actually remember. I think it was right hand. But I don't want too many of them. I don't want to be sitting down on them, do you know what I mean? And he tried to come forward a bit, and then I slowed things down, picked him, and I catch him with a beauty left hook, and I thought, right, this is it. But I didn't rush when I catched him. I just slowly got onto him, and I think it was a good performance. So I'm hearing it was a good performance, and I move on to 24 now.
You mentioned slowing your work down, and you hurt him. You noticed that. Talk to me about what's going through your mind during a fight. You're obviously trying to defend yourself, but you're trying to work out your next step as well. Bit of a chess match, you're trying to think 2 steps ahead. What's that like?
Well, when it used to be with me, it used to be as soon as you hit him, full steam ahead. But you know when you hurt someone, you can see it, and sometimes you do want to try and get on the mitt straight away because you don't want to give them the time to recover. But also when you're against these kind of opponents, when they get hurt, that's when they're more vulnerable and more dangerous because they just throw shots swinging anywhere, and you can just easily walk onto one. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to be careful what you're doing and picking your shots and picking the right. So it's hard sometimes, obviously, to slow it down, but we're getting there. And as I said, I think it was a great finish.
It obviously wasn't the original opponent, so it could very easily have been a banana skin. You could have easily slipped up tonight. So you had to be very, very focused to go in there with this guy tonight. Somebody you probably know an awful lot about. And like you say, he caught you one early and it shocked you a little bit. What's that like for your preparation heading into a change of opponent?
Exactly like you said, it could have been a banana skin tonight, but they didn't obviously after when Lee pulled out, they didn't want me to get on the show. They want obviously saved to the match sketch for me and Lee. But I've done a 12-week camp and I'm only average working lad, do you know what I mean? If I don't fight, I don't get paid, do you know what I mean? It's 4 weeks before Christmas, so I needed to fight. And that's what a lot of people don't really understand with boxing. They think, oh, well, you get paid, don't always get tons of money. It's not always the easy way like that, do you know what I mean? And sponsors don't pay you till you have a fight. So I needed the fight, and I'm just thankful for the Sauerlands to get me on. And like you said, with this, when I know they knocked all these points out and it comes to fight, and I watched the fight against the Irish, and I thought, I need to be on the game here a little bit. And that's what I needed because I didn't want to get in the ring with someone and just showboat about and mess about and then get tagged with one. I needed someone for if I get tagged here, I could be over here, do you know what I mean? So it made me keep alert, do you know what I mean? So I'm happy.
Just tell me how grateful you are for getting on this show still. Like you say, you don't get paid if you don't fight. So to still get out and stay active and get paid, how much does that mean to you tonight?
Yeah, of course it does. Listen, it puts some money back in the pot now for the next time, you know what I mean? It's coming up to Christmas, so everyone wants to get paid before Christmas, don't they? Especially when you've done a 12-week camp, not been to work and not paying bills, so it meant a lot, obviously, to get out, do you know what I mean? Obviously said. But I do honestly think going forward in boxing, I think there should be an insurance thing in for boxing because if the fight does pop, at least they'll be on the card and in the title fight what they're in, do you know what I mean? Because it's hard for someone just to say, oh, you're not on, that's it, see you next year. Alright, then that'll do. Just wasted 4 months of your life, do you know what I mean? But thank you very much to Nissa, I owe you one. You got us on, so we'll move forward now.
You had 2 little meetings with Lee McGregor. Firstly, when he was sat commentating ringside, you leant over the ropes, put your fist out. What was said there, first of all?
I just said, you next. I said, let's have it, do you know what I mean? And touched him, do you know what I mean? And listen, I've got nothing but respect for Lee McGregor, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to come on here, I said it on the other day, I'm not going to slag him off and all that because I do like the lad, do you know what I mean? Before this fight got made, we actually get on, do you know what I mean? He used to train Ben Davis, but not bad, he's a game lad, he wears his heart on the sleeve, something like myself. But the only thing what I didn't really like what he was saying, like he picked me for this fight and if I kept on going on, I wouldn't get the opportunity. I don't need Lee McGregor, like, do you know what I mean? I can do my own thing, I make my own ways up. I've never led nobody in my life, do you know what I mean? So I definitely don't need Lee McGregor for my next fight, do you know what I mean? And if the contract doesn't get sorted out or things don't get sorted out properly, it won't be happening next. So we can probably look a bit further down the line, do you know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. But listen, I've got respect for him. I've got nothing. Obviously, when you're in the ring, it's going to get a little bit. We're fighting, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? We're fighting, man. We're well out. Obviously, my adrenaline's going for the rush, but it is what it is. It's boxing, and I'm looking forward to the fight because it's one of them fights where I've got to bite my teeth. I've got to train hard. That's what I've done 11-week camp for. Do you know what I mean? And that's where you get the result like that. So yeah, looking forward to it.
This sort of fight with Lee McGregor, obviously, is a good name.
It's getting bigger. Everyone's interested in it because potentially it could be a fight of 2024 when it happens. You know what I mean? Everyone's starting to ask me when I'm walking down the street, "It's when you fighting Lee or the Lee fights or what happened with the Lee?" You know? So it's building good, and it is going to, when it does happen. I think it will sell very good.
Was it nice for you to make that statement tonight in front of Lee?
Yeah, of course it does. I didn't even know it was here, to be honest with you. About 5 minutes, I was walking up, so it's not Lee McGregor's here. And that sometimes, for a box owner money speaking on my behalf, can be like, oh, put a bit of pressure on, like, do I need to look good here, or do I need to try and knock him out with play? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you can just trick someone, but I went in there tonight, I was fighting Lee McGregor tonight, do you know what I mean? In my own mind, even though when he pulled out, I got in my own mind, like, I'm fighting Lee McGregor, I trained to fight him, and I just got the job done. And obviously when I went over to him at the end, just let's get it on, let's get the big fight. He wants the big fights, I want the big fights, we want the most money for each other, and if we can both bring each other money, let's make the fucking fights, you know what I mean? So let's get it done.
Just finally, Isaac, a final message for Lee McGregor.
Just train hard, kid, and let's get all sorted out with let's have a meeting with Sowlands and let's get it on.